What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sunday live chat. I wanted to, I'm testing out a new mic here. It's actually one that I've owned for a number of years. It's like the Yeti. It's supposed to be pretty good. I can't see it. There you go. So if it's too loud, let me know. If it's scratchy or whatever, let me know. Actually, I think it sounds pretty good, doesn't it? It sounds better than the actual. I was running it through the video camera last time. The Pro Stream. Pro Stream audio doesn't pick up as well as the Yeti does. So I think the mic does sound really good and clear for the most part. So definitely important for live streaming and such to be able to get the audio correct. So good evening to everyone. Yeah, it definitely sounds a lot more clear. You probably hear it on. Okay. So if we do happen to get a little bit of a buffering signal, don't worry about it. It'll internet, the wind, the weather's just been terrible here in Ohio lately. This past couple of weeks, this just terrible winds, and it's knocked down. I mean, we're lucky to even have power right now. It's just it's that bad. So, hope everybody's staying safe. That's dealing with all these spring storms, etc. Anyway, welcome to the live chat. For you guys that are new to the channel, we usually do a Foxbody Mustang, live chat, shop talk. We have a little bit of fun here on the channel. I do super enjoy and look forward to every Sunday being able to sit down and talk to some of my subscribers and channel members here in the channel. And we, usually talk about a nice subject, something on the channel, something that's coming up, something that's, like a topic, budget. Foxbody and budget's always a really good topic to talk about as we kind of are kind of heading in that direction. So that's kind of the theme for today's live stream. On top of that, it's a tech talk, shop talk. So if you got an issue or we want to talk about something that that you might want to get a question, have a question or get an answer to on your Foxbody Mustang, hit it up in chat. Let me know what you may or may not have an issue with. Guys in green, if you see them here in green, big shout to them in chat. They are the channel members, and I encourage everybody who is interested in joining that, check out the join button below on pretty much all my videos and live streams and such. It's right next to the subscribe button. So appreciate you guys for, once again, another month of, membership. So big shout to you guys. Also want to make a big shout to my sponsors on the channel, McLeod, Stiflers, Tremec, Hanlon Motorsports. Probably my main sponsor right there, my man Handren. I don't know where I'd be without him. He's one of my good friends, and he's also a business associate. So, Kevin Cragen at Cragen Auto, and of course Dave Dalkey, the mad scientist. So big shout out to those guys. And last but not least, Team Z official. So appreciate you guys. Let me come up here in chat. What's up, KP, Jim or Willie? Guys, I'm going to be honest with you, man. It's getting to the point. Like, look at this. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. Oh, see, I can see now. What's up, Robert? What's up, Carlos? Hey, we just went to a U-Pull it this past weekend, Carlos. I see you pulled an intake, right? Was that you? What's up, Budget Dom? Yeah, definitely. We got a new mic like I just talked about a little bit ago. Kyle Dennis, man, it's good to see you, man. Great meeting you at the swap. So this guy right here, I wanted a big shout to him real quick. He actually built a 387 in his car. I don't know. It's not in that car right there in his picture, but great guy. Got to talk to him a little bit at the swap meet because I'm doing a different type of video this week. I think you guys are going to like it. Definitely would encourage a little bit of feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. It's going to probably be about a 20 or 25 minute long video, but it pretty much summed up the whole weekend. And we did like 4 or 5 things this weekend that I could have did a little bit of videos on and just put them out as their own video. But to be honest with you, we kind of narrated the video a little bit. I'm kind of excited to try something a little bit different with the video styles. At least once every blue moon, come up with like a narrated, like vlog style video. that I think you guys are going to really like and kind of follow along with. It's kind of like telling a story of the weekend or the week versus just talking about one thing. You see what I mean? So big shout out to Kyle too. He did build, he showed me some pictures and, he showed me that the 387 that he built on in his car, and we were kind of building it at the same time. So it was really cool to see that. And it sounded nasty, man. Torque like you wouldn't believe. How hard do you plan to push the 387? Pretty much right to the bending the rods limit. Rained all day Friday on my way to Summit. I see a nice Tremec box. That's correct. So this is a brand new big shout to Tremec for hooking it up. But this is a brand new T56 Magnum 266 first gear. As you guys know, we got a 297 first gear on the channel. I've been talking about possibly getting rid of that. I mean, it's got like 50 miles on it. It used to be in the black car before we did the TKX playlist. So if you guys are curious on what transmission's in the black car, it's a Tremec 327 first gear TKX. And we're going to probably keep that transmission in that car for a while, if not permanently. And the one biggest thing I hated about the two, is it 287 or 2? I think it's 287. Maybe I'm thinking 287 is the TKX. Hanlon, if you're in the chat, fix me up here. I think the other T56 mag, not the 11010, but I think it's the 110. I don't remember. It's got a gear drop. You guys have been complaining about going from third to fourth. You know what I mean? So I got the 266 instead. Really cool. Jeffrey Williams. Hell yeah. Nice Tremec box in the back. Fresh trans. Yes, sir. What's up, Big Stick Stands? Good to see you, my man. Lamar Richardson's in the house. How we doing, Lamar? It's good to see you, brother. What's up, Kent McCraney? It's good to see you guys. Tattercoon, I actually got your guys's. I got the T-shirts out Saturday, and he had won the bezel last week. So we're talking about giving away some stuff coming up very soon. Got a big hydraulic clutch pedal assembly that was given to us by Jason Fields. So what up, T-Web? Sean Fisher, man, I appreciate the super sticker, super chat, man. It's things like that helps me go to those events and helps fund the channel with the channel stuff that we do here. So I appreciate you, you guys and the guys in the green, the chat, pretty much all of it, guys. It's, it's very humbling to be able to, be able to do what we do here. I have a $200 swap me into a, just had some fun with the 387 today. Nice. If it was a Burgundy Explorer that I grabbed the intake off, it's Patty's Day. All you can carry day. Are you serious? They have an all you can carry day? What's up, pimp? It's good to see you. Trying to catch up, guys. Sorry. Swap meet today at Maple Grove Speedway was a bust. Hardly no Foxbody stuff. That's getting like that now. I mean, we went to I'm going to be honest with you. We went to the swap meet this past weekend. I'll give you guys a little bit of detail. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. It was pretty fire. I mean, and you'll see in some of the videos that, some of the content that we put out this week, especially the big vlog one we did, we ended the video with that. And, it was just, I wasn't 15 minutes into the swap meet and I had already had a cart full of shit. And, I like to collect parts and, pretty much gave everybody asking price for the most part, hey, what do you want for this? And just give them the money. I know the struggles with going to swap meets, the worst part about the swap meets is like, and cousin Paul can attest to this, and so couldn't cousin Fred. We would literally have to buy like 5 lots, and each lot was like $50, so that's like 400 right there. And then you got a diesel and a trailer, that's $300 in diesel. No matter how, 250. We'll call it 250. It's at least a tank, if not 2, to get down there and back. And and then you're talking two hotels, for the night. You're in at $1,200-$1,500 before you even start making any money. And, we just started going down and just picking parts at that point. We thought about doing something a little bit different where we set up like a merch tent and bring the black car, set it up on one of the lots. maybe bring some big stuff, a couple sets of wheels or something, seats and stuff, and just kind of interact with the crowd. I mean, swap meets where that's in my blood, man. I love swap meets. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Is the 387 is in and running, right? I was like, no. So the 363 is still in the black car. A gentleman that I had met this weekend that follows the channel down at the Columbus swap meet built the same engine. He had to fly cut his pistons with his inline heads. So he's the one that was just talking about that in chat here. The black car is so slick. I appreciate that. You know anything about Liberty heads? I do not. MJP in the house. It's good to see you, my man. Sean Fisher, it's good to see you. Is a turbo build be usually a daily without the turbo headaches? Is a turbo build be used daily without the turbo headaches, exhaust leaks? Yeah, you're right, 100%. Can't wait to work with Hanlon here soon to get a TKX. So, yeah, I had mentioned something to him. I don't know if he's in the channel just yet. So, anyways, so moving on, we've decided that, we kind of went the black car when you're building a budget car, and that's basically what the black car came from. Like, my black car on the channel has evolved from literally, like stock bottom end GT40 stuff that I'm always preaching is the best bang for buck. And, we went turbo crazy with it, and it got to the point with the black car where I'm just like, all right, well, how much can we push a production block? And when I meant production block, I was real kind of real stringent on the fact that it was a stock cam, stock lifters, stock rockers, 93 Cobra, the 172s. So we would cheat with those. The only thing we really had in any of those engines was, a set of head studs. And, we would build them, we would flip the pistons, and we would just, beat the crap out of them. And 302s can really take an abuse. I mean, we put 600 wheel to them on a number of blocks, but that was pretty much where we were pulling to, we were putting too much timing in. And then this is pre-85, E85 days. So it kind of got to the point to where, if we would have had E85, would the 302 have survived a little bit better because E85 burns a little bit more efficient? It'd have been, resistant to more detonation and such. So the black car got to the point to where, it should have never got the 363 stroker. It was supposed to get the 410 that we had put in the white car. 410 got a whole bunch of parts. You guys probably seen a video that's followed the channel for a number of years. The white car I got mad because I could not get the 410 to sit right on this K member in the black car. And you guys remember that video. I just literally pulled the white car all dusty and sitting for 2 years forward, and I dropped the motor in it, and that's what brought us back to where we're at today. The 363 was legitimately supposed to go back into the white car. But, just like we had talked about last year, just like we had talked about last week in the official video of putting the 387 in the black car, things change. I did not see an SSP coming to this channel, or a coupe for that matter, anytime soon. And then when we seen it, we jumped on it, and thousands of dollars later in paint and sponsorships, we're sitting here on an accelerated build sheet with the coupe. And you gotta, having a YouTube channel and having, trying to make content, you still got to keep things budget. We got some really cool things coming out with a clapped out coupe that we're about to build. Kind of gave away the name there, but me and cousin Paul were talking about it pretty extensively this past weekend, of building a clapped out coupe that we have out here in the shop, or, that red one that we had brought home. And, I think that's going to be really cool because that's going to be something similar to the way we were with this. So returning this car to like a budget form as well with the 387 stroker that's hiding underneath of that on that engine stand. I think that's where we need to come back with the channel. And then, of course, we have the white car and the coupe build that are kind of, tandem, like race street cars, or we can do some really incredible shit and enjoy it on the channel. And maybe you guys might like it as well. So Now, that's kind of where we're at with that. Yeah. KP, question. Buddy blew his motor by over rev. He was thinking of a 289 crate, better off with a 302 crate for street use. I mean, that kind of goes to the point, KP, where we're at, like, you're at a point where you can go to a 9.5 deck. Has he thought about going to just like a simple 351, 357 build, like a 30 over? I mean, it's pretty much the same money, maybe a little bit. You can get probably a 393 build. Has he thought about that? 289, great motor, but not really. I mean, there's other choices. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about a 289 that much because I don't have a whole lot of experience with it. It's a great engine, though. Yeah. This is how you know you're getting old, Tom, bro. See? Yes, sir. So War Admiral, if you guys don't know who War Admiral is, that's Tom from 50 Asylum. Him and John Brooks are doing, if you don't know Dale, yeah, I think that's the name of his car. And War Admiral is Tom's coupe. Probably some of the best cars that you're ever going to see on the internet. But they actually do a podcast, 50 Asylum. You guys check that out. Anyways, Tom was looking for some one-piece headlights. So I hit him up on text message about a couple hours ago. I had 2 or 3 sets of them. And he's going to do some customizations with them, I guess. I don't know. I got to get them out to him. So big shout out to Tom, War Admiral. You see his car right there in the pictures. You got to go check him out on Instagram. Got a huge following. He's in magazines all the time. So big shout out to you, buddy. He's also a channel member on the channel. Thank you so much, Tom. T56 Magnum, TKX poop. You will miss that gear. Just saying. Nah. TKX has been through its war with me, and we're gonna rock this TKX until we split it in half. That may never happen. I mean, it's already showed promise. What's your favorite China aluminum head for a 351 street setup? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I would, if I had the opportunity to do like a cheaper aluminum cylinder head, bro. To be honest with you, Tim, I'd probably try those Enforcers, those AFRs. Aren't those only like 1,200 or something? Might even try those 227 Speedmasters. Like, we were thinking about putting brand new set of aluminum heads on the old 387, but a buddy of ours hooked us up with a set of ported old school trick flows that we think that we won't have to fly cut our pistons on. So doing the glasses deal to know what a difference. I know, man, this is just the 100s. Like, for you guys that are kind of younger generation, that's what happens when you start getting older, man. I denied it. And then my girlfriend bought me some glasses, and she said, bro, put these on. I put them on, and it was like I could see again. It was ridiculous. I love her to death. I saw the Hoopmans on Saturday while I was working at Summit. That's funny because I seen the Hoopmans at the swap meet too. So Papa Hoopman and Slow Nate, you guys know him, those guys on the channel here. So that's pretty awesome to see them. Yeah, Webb, go with Speedmaster 227s or try those Enforcers. Yeah, always, Tom. It's always good. So we'll get hooked up and linked up here in this week, and I'll get those headlights out to you. They're just a faded set of single, I think they're, one pieces or whatever. Chris over at Infamous Project was doing a really cool, I really like the 2-piece design. Like, everybody talks about how bad the 1-piece design looks. And, I was watching his video when he was doing the customization on that headlight. And and literally it made sense, the body line he talked about. And I was like, wow, made him look 10 times better as far as the singles. So making them like a 2-piece design, I think that would be a really cool thing to look at. I think it would fit. AFR Enforcers are good, have good reports. They've been out for a while now. Yep. How we doing, Preston? Good to see you. What's up, Boosted 931? Look at that. Got, what is that? Is that a Gen 3 IROC? Woo! LS swapped. We talked about that on the channel. If I was to do an LS swap, that'd be what it'd be in too, bro. Tim Webb, I got Speedmaster 190 202s. I'm happy. My X-Cam is not even close to hitting the 1.6 rockers. Nice. Shit, dude, I eat a ton of carrots, Ken. Man, I eat nothing but chicken, rice, and carrots and eggs. And, I ran 3 miles a day, about fell over. So what, you talking about the one pieces are perfect? Yeah. JK, what's up? AFR enforcers on the 331 here. Great heads but the 2-piece guides are a real PETA. Corey Harris, have you ever used a 69, 70 block 351, or are they stronger? Okay, so 69 and 70, Corey, are pretty, anything in this, like the DO C9 era of 351s, even 302s for that matter. What made them a little bit stronger, just to kind of give you a heads up, is they were made, their webbing was a little bit thicker. I mean, you could physically see it, but they were made with more nickel, especially the Mexican 302 blocks. That's why they got their reputation for being a really strong production block, because apparently the Mexico plant back in the 60s and 70s, whatever, when they were producing the 302s and 351s, they used a lot of nickel in their blocks, made them significantly stronger. But specifically the 69, 70, 351 blocks, you got to be careful with that, because you're missing about 20 thou on the deck height. So they're not really a true 9.5 deck motor. And when you're building something, they're definitely strong. But when you're building like a stroker kit, or you're building a 30 over kit, you got to actually pay attention to what rod you order, because you can end up having your piston out of the hole. Versus like the later model 351s, they are a 9.50 deck block versus a 9.480. You see what I mean? So, Tim, another good hint: pay attention to combustion chamber. I got a 64, lower compression, better for turbo. That's correct. Tatter, Eric Weingartner did a specific good tech article on AFR enforcers. And that's a budget head. So for those of you guys don't know, AFR makes an enforcer head. It's kind of like a budget head, a budget head to be able to buy, instead of spending like what's the 205s? What are they, like 2,800 or something? Boosted. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is not an LS. That's right. It's a big block Chevy. Whew. That's crazy. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Tremec is in the house. I just got to get a banner now. No, not at all. That don't mean bad at all. The older block, like I said, if you're going to build an older 351, just especially a 69 or 70, make sure you keep track of the fact that you will have a compression height difference. You know what I mean? Your deck height difference, about 20 thou there. So you're ready for FTO, bringing the slow new edge. Thought about Explorer ST, but I don't know yet. You brought a truck last time. Am I right? Carlos, speaking of budget building, I'm reusing an SN95 drive shaft I pulled, but everything I see on the subject says to mark your drive shaft location. When you remove mine was a roller, so I know no reference. Any advice? You talk about the weights, like what ones goes front and rear? How we doing, Broken Tools? Good to see you, my man. So, to the topic at hand, and I'll keep talking here in chat here. Staying budget, we decided to go back budget, and probably one of the main reasons, on top of the fact that we can create more content for you guys here on the channel, is the car's not safe enough to go any more faster than it has. We like to party on 26-inch tire, 26-inch tall slicks on the black car, which doesn't, it does its job, but it definitely gets a little bit hula at the top of the track. About 140, 142, that car is just doing this going down the track. It doesn't have the proper cage in it, doesn't have the proper subframe connectors in it. And to be honest with you, the thing weighs 3,400 pounds, 3,500 pounds, as you guys see. So I think making the black car a budget car, plus we get a lot of content we can do on the 387, which seems to be a pretty hot topic with our channel. We get to push its limits. We get to do a lot of cool stuff with it. And, being it's in the daily driven car, we can really shake it down versus just taking it to the track and testing it. You know what I mean? Whereas the 363 that's in there, that's a nice seasoned motor already ready to go, can go back into the coupe with a bunch of big boy parts, big boy turbo stuff, and then we can chase some records and have some fun with it. You know what I mean? I got an extra Tremec banner. You can have it. Yeah, I think Mike said he was going to send me one. I got to get some merch from him as well. Probably have to wait till FTO to get some of that stuff. I got to make a trip up to Team Z this week. Team Z's got all our parts that they sponsored for the coupe build this year. And, the coupe has been painted Saturday. I haven't done any film on it because I wasn't in town. So sneak peek on the live chat, because I always give away stuff, give away information on the live chat. The coupe is painted. It is finished. Like I said, I couldn't get a chance to get over there because I was at the swap meet this past weekend. Plus, there were some other things we had going on. I was busy all week. I'm exhausted. I'm not even gonna lie to you. What's a good basic upgrade for a T5? TKX. To be honest with you guys, TKO is a thing in the past. I know some of you guys will, be mad at me for saying that, but it's the truth. It's in the writing's on the wall. TKO is getting to the point to where they're not even making any parts for it anymore. They discontinued making the case. I don't even think they even make the tail shaft anymore. That doesn't tell you something. Like Handler Motorsports pretty much took like 50 GM cases that they had and they converted them and made them universal, because the TKO GM case and the TKO Ford case were very similar, but their bolt pattern was a little bit different. So, being the, engineers that, Bob Hanlon and Andrew are over at Hanlon, they actually made a universal case for both Ford and Chevy. So at least for now, it'll do for now, but eventually that stuff's just going to dry up. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to get parts for it. They're just not going to make them anymore. TKX is the next best thing, bro. I'm telling you right now. Would you recommend for headers any difference between brands like Hooker, Hedman? Are you talking for shorties or long tubes? Obviously, the more you spend, the better you get. I'm not even going to lie to you. Cook's, amazing headers. Built to last, built forever. You know what I mean? Bassani's. I've had them all. We've had the Ford Motorsports. I've had the Hookers. I've had the Hedmans. Be honest with you, any header will work. Okay, a good built header will work. The main thing about a header, whether you're turbo header or even the stock ones, is making sure that your flange is flat. Like when your flanges get out of whack, or they come like that, then they're going to leak no matter what gasket you put on them. Like you could just use a cheap header and you could literally take a straight edge to it and see daylight between the flanges, and especially the ones that are like welded as one flange. So recommendation, Hooker and Hedman always worked. Flowtech worked. They're a pretty cheap little header that works. And obviously, if you can get into like a stainless or ceramic or something, it might help you out a little bit. Jordan Dennis. Kyle Dennis has the Enforcer heads on his 387. See? Budget. Jason Johnson. Cam building a stock bottom end 351 roller with a 274 with ported Y303s. Looking for roller rockers. Would stock rockers be okay? Yeah, but I would definitely, if you're going to run with some GT40 aluminums, which is the Y303s, I definitely would probably consider, that's a pedestal. So I would consider looking for a 1.7 or a 1.72, but if you're running the 274, probably just go with the blue Scorpions or the 351 blue. Just get a roller rocker. I probably wouldn't put stock rockers on there at all. I'll be honest with you, Jason. What's up, Dustin? Good to see you, man. Like you say, mark the position when you remove bolt to install. I don't have anything to reference because the car never had a drive shaft. I think the weights are in the front. Somebody help me out there. Dan Robinson in the house. Remflex gaskets and thicker flange for the better. Yeah. So that's one of the main reasons why I even bought that. If you guys watched my header video when we did the header on the black car, it made a significant difference. I had to sit there on the it's a belt sander, whatever. I had to put it on there for a good minute. It got hot, but it's definitely worth it. To get the flange straight and clean. You know what I mean? And then the only gasket that I ever really ran that I liked was the Mr. Gasket. It's like a copper one, but you got to pay attention to square and round ports. You know what I mean? So you got to make sure you order the right gasket and such. Hell yeah. Appreciate that, Handler. Appreciate that. What did Jimmy Willie say? Cape. I agree with Dom. The BBK long tubes ones I have are the only ones I messed up with the fit. That's what I was just saying. Broken tool. Super easy. Sand them straight. Use the Black & Decker hand sander. What's up, Nathan Tuck? Big shout out to Nathan Tuck. One of the oldest channel members here on the channel, man. I appreciate you, man. How often do you recommend rewrapping? I would probably every year. It depends on how much you drive it. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I got to rewrap my headers. I don't normally wrap turbo headers, but some of the ones, like the stainless ones that I have, they get real hot under the, and I'm just trying to keep some of the heat out of the engine bay. I would probably every 2 years. I mean, it's just, like I said, it depends on how you can see when the header wraps, like it starts to turn white and it just starts to degrade, especially under heat. You're talking about 700 to 1,000 to 1,500 degrees coming out that cylinder head. You know what I mean? So definitely would do that, Nathan. The Remflex are thick graphite and the whole gaskets crushes. Okay. So anybody knows who Dan Robinson is? Dan Robinson is a Summit tech. Been there for 10 years plus. Knows his shit. 650 Motors. What's up, Edgar? My man out in West Coast. Guys, go check out his YouTube channel. Check out his Instagram. Always working on Fox bodies. Always, I'm always supporting him. He does a great job. He's a good friend too. So. We got here. Anyone know if 5.0 auto long tube headers will fit a 5-speed? I want to buy long tubes, but I was going. Okay, so I think the AOD ones were built a little bit wider than the T5 ones. I don't think you can. I think that going from 5-speed to auto, I think the headers won't fit right. But I think going from auto to, what did he? Well, auto long tube, yes, because I think the auto ones are wider. So going from auto to 5-speed might not be a problem. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm going to have to check those out. Remflex. Have you ever tried the Hoosier C11 compound 26 8.5 on the black card? No, we haven't tried Hoosiers at all. I think if we were going to try Hoosiers this year, they would be CO7s. Is that right? Is it the DO7 or the CO7? It's the no prep tire. I think CO7s is the no prep one that we were going to try out this year. But I got a brand new set of Mickeys that I got from Corey Binks, the guy who runs the 8-second Thunderbird. He wasn't. He's pretty much just shaking that car down on a radial this year, I think. And it's fast as shit, man. Would you trust Speedmaster DNA rockers? Summit sells them. That's a Dan Robinson question. He can probably help you out more with that. I've never used the DNA rocker, so I would never suggest something that I haven't actually tried or seen or put on somebody's car. But yeah, so 380. You guys seen the video last week, and I'll continue talking while we let chat. Let chat catch up. Yeah, I think we've decided to keep the black car pretty much budget. I know the TKX really isn't a budget style transmission because, if I was really going budget, it would be like a T5 or whatever. But to be honest with you, I think we can push the 387 to 600, 650 wheel on E85 with boost and pretty much max out the cylinder, the rod and the piston. I think it's going to be a great build. I think it's going to be we got some old budget heads from 30 years ago. I think we're going to run the 351 intake, and we're going to drill for the fuel rails. I'm going to have a blast with it. I'm really excited. I can't wait to put that 387 in that car. Not that I don't like the 363, but to be honest with you, that 363 isn't even getting pushed half of what it should be. So, and this isn't the car to do that for real. I tried to put long tubes off an auto on a 5-speed, and they hit the clutch arm. Good point, Ernest. I've been running the ProForm roller rockers for years. That's the other blue one that I was talking about. Speedmaster for valve covers, but not valve train for me. Harlan Sharps are the ones I use on both. I have Harlan Sharps on my 363 and Harlan Sharps on my 410. The 387 is going to have just a, I'm telling you, we built this motor with parts that we had laying around. It's a crane something. I have no idea which one it is. We don't even really care. We just want to set the valves and go. Neil, what is the potential on the 363 horsepower wise? We expect to make with the bigger turbo kit. Here, I'll show you real quick. I showed you guys this years ago, but I'll show you the header and such. So we had a custom turbo kit built years ago, and I've showed this on the channel before, but it makes no damn sense that the best parts we got are sitting on the shelf, right? I mean, I like my budget turbos. I mean, it is what it is. But to answer your question, we had a custom built stainless turbo setup. Built by Big Dog, a buddy of mine. Big shout to him. And it's a real nice setup. This is the cross, as you can see. And there's a plate that there's a plate to the frame that bolts to here, and then the turbo comes on top here, and the exhaust flange and the plate that holds the turbo. It also holds the crossover, and you can see that both headers come in here. This is a real nice design because, you know, you don't get any, you know, both of the headers come into the rear of the turbo, or excuse me, the exhaust housing, and then here's the blowout valve right here. This is where my 66 goes. So there's another header that looks very similar to the one I just showed you. That's what's going on the 363 with the ball bearing turbo that we have right here on the B&G kit. Now, if you guys remember that old Turbonetics that we had, that 76, 75, it's a little baby turbo, but we're going to put that on the 351 kit that we got, and that's what's going to go on the 387. So, yeah, Jessel's shaft system is what we're headed to. So, give you, you know, that's a pretty cool, I mean, that kit cost me a lot of money like 10 years ago. I used it for like 2 years. A 363, just to answer your question, horsepower wise should be, I mean, with the ball bearing turbo, there's no reason why we shouldn't see 8 wheel, just like the 410. In a lightweight coupe, 800 wheels, all the power I need. I don't even need that. You know, we're gonna set the suspension up in that coupe. It's gonna still be able to be street driven. I'm gonna have 10-hole VMS 10-hole skinnies and fats on it when I go to a show. I mean, run it on the dyno, make some power, but I'm not out there looking to make 1,000 wheel. I mean, that's just not my thing. You know, if you can't, I can barely handle 750, 800 right now, but I mean, the car's going, you know, 580s stick shift. So, you know, I think I'm a firm believer in, you know, I can make 750 or 8 and make it work for me versus making more horsepower and trying to handle it. You know, make the car suspension wise and make it work. You know what I mean? Make that every horsepower that I make work for me, and then go from there. You know what I mean? Neo, the ATS brakes on the SN95 spindles, 9495 with Cobra rotors. Do I order dust covers for 0304 Cobra or SN95? Worth getting a shift kit for an AOD. Shift kits hit pretty hard. Probably wouldn't put a shift kit in an AOD if it's bone stock. I mean, it'll help a little bit, but I mean, it'll jerk you pretty hard as far as like, you know, going into gear. Wow. You know what I mean? Yep. Ken is good people. You're right. Big Dog Fab. Yes. Big Dog made my custom kit. Kenny Cooper in Ohio. He does some really good shit. Probably one of the best fabricators. I did a whole video on his shop for the most part, but probably one of the best fabricators I've ever seen. What's up, Fat Boy Fox? Good to see you, my man. Paul, those hot side parts are nice pieces. Appreciate that. So, yeah, that's where we're headed. I mean, we're gonna downgrade the turbo. We're gonna downgrade. I mean, we're not really downgrading to a 387. I mean, that's a really cool build, but I'm really excited to kind of get back into the budget stuff. Like I said earlier in the channel or in the live stream, we cousin Paul and I spent the whole weekend together with Sandy, and we talked about the coupe. And he said, "Listen, man, this is what I want to do," because we didn't give him the red coupe, but it's going to be his. You know, he's been with me forever. He's like my brother. Mi casa, su casa. You know what I mean? What's mine is yours. So that red coupe, we pretty much settled on a name called Clapped Out Coupe. It's going to be the Clapped Out Coupe. We're going to stick this ridiculous looking hood on it. We're going to put the white bumper on the front. We're not going to paint shit. We're going to actually take Dad's driveline out of his car. And I want to see if untuned speed density can go 10s. And if we put it in a coupe versus having my dad's, heavy LX car, would it get there? You know what I mean? I mean, we want 1160s on 7 pounds. We cut 300 or 400 pounds out of it and put it in the coupe. I don't know, man. We launch it pretty good. We might see 1090s on a speed density system. So that's the type of stuff on top of shaking the coupe down and having some fun at stick shift events. Going into the budget build with the clapped out coupe and the 387 stuff, that's going to be a lot of content on the channel this year, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's a pretty tough. It shifts pretty hard. But, I mean, don't let that steer you. It definitely helps when you put a shift kit in and just rebuilding the valve body or whatever, just doing maintenance to an AOD. Anything helps, to be honest with you. So let me catch up here in chat, boys. Let me see how this sounds. That mic sounds pretty good. What do you guys think? We're rocking the old Yeti, boys. Check it out. Sounds pretty good. So anyways, this past weekend, we're doing this video. What do you guys think of like a vlog style? What do you guys think of like vlog style videos? Like where there's music and narration and like instead of talking about one thing that we did, maybe just talk about like, shoot video over like 3 or 4 days, and like kind of the, talk underneath of it for the most part. So this video that's coming up this week's definitely going to be a little bit different. I think it's going to be more entertaining for you. Try to make it at least more entertaining. And it's, it talks a little bit about some of the things going on in my life outside of like, Fox bodies and stuff. So it kind of introduces that. It's pretty cool. The 363 is going in the coupe, right? Yes. With this kit I just showed you. We're going to have a tubular front end. We're heading to Team Z this week at some point to pick up our order. So we're definitely going to do a video on Team Z. As most of you guys know, Team Z is one of the main sponsors here on the channel. They actually are sponsoring a bunch of stuff for our coupe build. So big shout out to them. You guys will see what we're getting. And I think you guys are going to be super excited to see. Again, we're on a pretty accelerated build sheet with that coupe. We got a timeline that we're trying to meet. So we're going to do it. We're doing it right though. I mean, we're checking off the list as we go, putting our ducks in a row, making sure the money's right. Making sure the sponsorships and stuff. I mean, they've helped out so much, Tremec, McLeod, Team Z, Handler Motorsports. They've helped out so much this year, just with, getting that stuff going. How is the notch doing? Any clue when it comes back from paint? It's actually done. Again, I would have shot footage on it this past weekend to give it to you tomorrow or Tuesday. but we were out of town. So that's the video that you're going to be seeing this week is, you know, we had a pick we went on. We had we had some, and I'm showing you some damage that happened to one of my places with the trees and the weather. And we went to another car thing, and then we went to a swap meet thing, and then you guys are just going to see it. It's pretty cool. So that's a pretty cool video. Looking to see some voiceovers with old videos. Yeah, so we decided as well. I got so much content on the channel. I got like 670 videos. And, we had talked about in our members chat, again, the guys in green here in chat are my members to my channel. We had talked about in members chat about possibly digging up some of the old content that I had and just kind of narrating it a little bit. And you're going to see kind of a taste of that this week with one of the videos that I'm coming out with, like I told you about this past weekend. It's going to be kind of like that style video. Instead of like just giving you clips of the same old video, I'm going to talk about, some of the transition from a video that might be 5 or 6 years old and some of the things that are kind of, the realisms today. You know what I mean? The prices and so there's new fuel pumps out, there's new turbo systems out, there's new tuning software and such. So I came in late. Are you going to have video up for Columbus trip? My son wanted to see if he was in your video. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of video. I got stopped a lot down there at the swap meet. Took a couple pictures, shook a couple hands. Appreciate everybody that actually knew who I was. And, that supports the channel here. Yes, very hard to shift out first. Honestly, an uncomfortable ride. Nothing wrong with it. A few different video formats. Once you try something new, you'll know if it. Yeah. So it's just really pitching the thumbnail, because usually thumbnails are what really brings the people in. If you put a nice thumbnail out. But I'll be honest with you, a vlog style video has so many things going on. I mean, titling it and putting a thumbnail on it to make it like fire is difficult. So hopefully it works out. I appreciate that, MJP. Neil, what did you say on the dust covers? It froze up. I'm pretty sure that the dust covers that we used on the white car years ago. Well, I take that back. We did the strange front brake upgrade, right? I'm pretty sure the dust covers that we had on there were from an SN95. But I did have the big Cobra rotors on it. So you make some awesome content, brother. We'll be watching whatever you put up. Man, I appreciate that, man. I try to put up stuff that's, that's not boring. I try to do fun stuff. Maybe I just need to kind of maybe relax a little bit and maybe do videos like the one I'm putting out, just more of a vlog style narration where I can just shoot video and not really have to focus on what I'm going to say, because I can say it. I can make that later. I don't know. That's why we got a mic here. I busted this mic out and pretty much did a 15-minute editing of the video that I'm talking about. It's going to be kind of long, but it's engaging. You know what I mean? So we met walking up to the building. He was like, "Dad, there's Neo." Yeah, I remember that. I saw earlier in chat regarding some header wrap. My warranty will void it if I wrap them, but I do really like the lower underhood temperatures. Having experienced these metal fatigue, yeah, so that's exactly what happens is it metal fatigues. So, anyways, what else we got going on? Yeah, like I said earlier in chat, you guys just joining us. Tremec sponsored the channel. We got a brand new T56 mag for our stick shift events. They are also bringing a TKX to the Ford Takeover event, which I want to talk about here in a minute. So big shout out to them. I had a 297. I didn't like it. It was a synchronized transmission. There's nothing wrong with the synchronized. I actually, we raced it quite a bit, but there's a pretty big gear drop between the third and fourth. And I didn't realize that when I ordered the transmission. So the wide ratio T56 mag just, I was always stuck between shifting third and being 3,500 RPM and shifting to fourth. And then now it was like 1,800 RPM. So it wasn't a very good cruising one for me with the 355 gear. So, I had explained that and got sent this one. So it's pretty cool. Pro9 News, what's up, man? Do you run a boost controller? I run a manual boost controller. We will be changing, like I had mentioned a couple live streams ago, MF Customs has an adapter. Unfortunately, I was not able to find a Terminator X ECU. There was one at the fall swap meet, so I was looking for that guy again, but I don't think he was there. I missed out on it, so I should have got it. He's a guy that I had seen before. I trusted him. I've known him for a number of years in the swap meet. I should have bought it when I had a chance, but I want to do the Terminator. When we do the 387 swap on the black car, another thing that we're going to be doing is new software. We have to learn Holly anyway. I think, shaking the black car down 387 and actually learning a new software would help me exponentially with the coupe build and the Terminator X that we're putting in that, because we're definitely going to be running the Terminator X in the coupe build and trying to maximize the potential of the 363. Now, don't get me wrong, we've done super well with the binary editor shit, but I would like to learn this stuff. We're going to stay binary editor on the white car, and we'll be able to just backtrack and plug the computer back in and run this, run the engine combo anyways with the binary editor. So Jimmer Willie, T56 mag, is that a 6-speed? Yes. I want to keep my 410s, but a 6 gear sounds like what I need. Yes. You can run a T56 or TKX with a 410. That wouldn't be a problem. What's going on, Dan? It's good to see you. I figured you were hiding there somewhere. Yeah, so we were looking for a Terminator X this past week, just the ECU, maybe find something secondhand that somebody didn't want anymore. We were unsuccessful, so definitely want to try the adapter and the sub harness and maybe tinker around with the software with the Terminator X. Carlos, would love to see a Foxbody first start checklist for us guys who have ever never done anything like this before. I'm coming up on my first start soon and racking my brain for this making list. So vacuums will be vacuums and timing. It's a good point. That make for a good video. Probably would want to, make sure that your vacuums, make sure you're a lot of guys, first start and a Brutal. I'm going to bring his name up. Brutal's channel, one of his best videos, one of his best how-to videos is the TPS and the base idle reset. I want to definitely pay attention to that video he's got out. He makes some revisions to that as well in a lot of his channels. When he talks about, a lot of the first start stuff you can pick up from, myself and Brutal's channel, just vacuums. We talk about vacuums. He made a vacuum machine. That was one of his best videos. He did an excellent job with that, homemade vacuum machine. Just make sure your vacuums are straight. Make sure your base idle reset's right. And timing. Make sure you are on the right tooth and make sure your timing straight, set up straight. So those are the 3 things that, on top of it all, that'll shut you down. You know what I mean? Outside of just having just a straight bad part, make sure all your vacuums for sure. I still have a quarter horse chip burner. Hell yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we tune on. I might get a Holly kit for the next one. What's up, Mr. Mach 1? Good to see you. Hit me up. Maybe we might be able to help you with an ECU. Okay. Anyone of runs a dog box sequential transmission for a street drag car? No, because I think my buddy Casey runs a Jericho, but I think his Jericho is an H pattern, so he's the only one I know that would have a transmission of like. What'd Dom say? Jimmer, I run a T5 with 410s. It does great. Hell yeah. I've watched the Brutal TPS vids as well as the House of Duel's first start. Would love to see something more direct and scientific. Okay. Pull out the whiteboard. Yeah, we're about an hour in. We're not pulling that out right now. That's definitely something to think about with the live chat, though. That's giving me something to talk about next week. If you guys want to talk about first start, kind of a checklist when you're putting a motor together, putting a car together. I can, I never even thought about that. So that's a really good idea. Oil, spark plugs, air filter. Did I miss anything? Yeah, timing. I'm just kidding. I've got 265 40 18s. I can't fit much taller. You should be in a 35 and on an 18, or 30 or 35 in the rear on an 18 at that stage, wouldn't you? So, what's in the Tremec box? We have a new T56 mag for the channel. It was a sponsorship from Tremec. 260. It's a 266 first gear. We don't have one. Our face-plated transmission T56 mag in the white car is a 297 first. The synchronized T56 that we got in the back that is brand new, got like 50 miles on it, that we had just broken in when we went into the TKX videos. That one is a 297, just like the T56 mag faceplate that we had. So at one point, we had two T56 swaps, one in the white car, one in the black car. But then again, like I said, we went back with the TKX playlist with the Hanlon Motorsports. We collaborated with them and decided we made 10 or 12 videos, still making videos with the TKX, and just decided to keep it in there. And, Tremec sponsored the channel and said, I told him, I said, well, I'd be interested in running a 266 first gear Tremec. Let me explain to you real quick. The 297 first gear Tremec T56, I feel like I ship 1, 2, 3, and then 3 to 4 has a nice like gear drop, they call it. The 266 is nice and even. It's a great shift pattern as far as like the gear ratios are spread evenly through the shifts. So what I think I can do with the 266 is up my gear to like a 410, and then I can actually shift the fourth basically around 500 feet coming through the eighth. You see what I'm saying? With a 363, I should be able to RPM it 72, 7400, 7200 with the 363 on a 28 tall tire with a 266 first on a 410. Might have to mess with the rear gear a little bit, but that's kind of the design that we're going with. So it was really cool. Some of us starting our build journeys on these cars. I probably will do that. We are doing an old school Viper spec T56 in the deep forest green SN95. Nice. So for those folks that don't know here on the channel, there's a closed gear and there's a wide ratio and a closed ratio for both TKX and Tremec T56. Basically, it's the gear ratio design. When I talk about 2.66 gear ratio in a T56 mag in the box, it's different than the one that's in my white car, and it's different than the one I have in the back, because that's a wide ratio. The one in the box here is a closed ratio, or close ratio, you call it. So I think I'm explaining it correctly. The wide ratio on the TKX is nice because it's similar to the T5 pattern. It's a 327. The one I run is a wide ratio TKX. The black car, love it. Shifts well, does well. The T56, like I said, has a gear ratio drop between third and fourth. I didn't realize that when I ordered them. And when I bought the second one, I'm kind of have like buyer's remorse because I ended up having the same problem. So I never actually got a chance to check out the 266. Also, T56 mag is the stronger version than the actual regular T56. If you guys end up doing and you can pretty much tell, like if you look at a T56, you can tell, at least the Ford ones, I think the fork is at the 9 o'clock position, and on the Magnums, it's at the 7 o'clock position. So that was one of the issues we had with our oil pan, but with the cable being in the way. But anyway, T56 the OE T56 or the Cobra T56, definitely a good trans. I think that's good to like 450 wheel, which is underrated anyways. If you were to get an OE upgrade from a T5, couldn't afford the T56 mag just yet. You could still put a T56 OE like Cobra spec. I think the Vipers are similar in your Foxbody and switch over to just, you know, a normal T56, and it's significantly cheaper. You can get one used for like $1,500. So close gear spread will keep your engine. Yep, that's correct. John P, would you recommend taking a stock 30250? Would you recommend taking a stock 30250, not change head, or can you put a supercharger? You talking about just boosting a normal stock motor, John P? Is that what you're asking? The Ford T56 from 0304 Cobra is 7 o'clock, like the Magnum. Okay, so who was the 9 o'clock position? Because I'm not that T56 savvy. Good to go. When you see that happen, guys, it's just the internet being finicky with all the wind and crap weather. All right, there we go. So we're good to go. I heard they tested everything in a I think it was 4,500. To be honest with you, Dom, I think all the Ford stuff, all the Tremec stuff, all got tested, and I think it was 4,500 pounds. Ford Performance did sell a T56 in a 9 o'clock fork position, but those are hard to find. I got a bell housing that I got from. No, we're good. You guys good to go? Are we locked? All right, hang on a second. Oh, there we go. Good to go. We'll let chat catch up here. Sorry about the delay, guys. Internet signal bounced off those Coke bottles you got on. Kidding me, man. Kidding me. I don't want to be wearing these things, but you know, it is what it is. All right, Jason Fields, it's good to see you, my man. I appreciate you coming in. I did want to mention we did last week, before he goes, Jason Fields at Devoted Home Group won the we're going to be giving this away soon here on the channel. But he did, Jason Fields won the Malwood hydraulic clutch pedal assembly. So I'm not sure how I want to give this away yet. It's about a $700 setup, $600 setup. But we're going to be giving this away on the channel. He won this with the Fox Days of Christmas we do every year. Brand new Malwood. Big shout to Malwood for donating that to the channel to you guys. He ended up sending it back to me because he said he wasn't going to switch it over, and he wanted me to give it back to the channel. So big shout to Jason Fields. I did mention this last week, and I'm going to mention it all the way up until we give it away. Probably do it at a nice special event on our chat here, our live stream. I've been so busy, I haven't even given it much thought. So, appreciate you for, sending it back. Jason, you didn't have to do that. You did win it for the Christmas, but he wasn't going to use it. So he's going to give it back to you guys. So make sure you guys give him a shout out, bro. Yeah, Borg & Warner made an aluminum bell housing 9 o'clock position, but you need the mid plate. Hey, bro, it is what it is. I'll be catching you someday, I'm sure. We'll see you, Broken Tool. It's good to see you, my man. What's the cheaper route, supercharged or turbo? They're both expensive. They're definitely both expensive. So make sure I couldn't steer you one way or the other, brother. You know, Supercharger has its advantages. If you want to see a lot of Supercharger content, even the budget ones or the old school ones, go check out Nakia's channel, Brutal, and he BREW2L. If you haven't subscribed to him yet, he's done a number of recent Supercharger builds on his channel in collaboration with Anderson Ford Motorsports. So big shout out to Donnie B. He's probably sitting here in chat somewhere. So big shout out to you, buddy. You guys don't know who that is. Go check out Donnie B and Anderson Ford Motorsport. But turbo stuff. He did turbo stuff as well too. So and we've done a lot of that stuff here on the channel with the A trim that I'm trying to put on Sandy's car, but she won't let me. MJP man, appreciate the $20 super chat, super sticker. This sort of thing helps me to do what I do here on the channel. All the money I get here on YouTube stays in the channel. So big shout to you guys that do hook me up here in the live chats and my channel members in the green. So thank you guys so much. As it's appreciated. Neil, what do you think about the old TEI twisted wedge that Brian Tooley used to use? That's the ones we got in the 387. Pretty sure those are that. Anderson Ford Motorsport did something to them that says AFM on them. Good meeting you the other day at Summit Racing. Hope you guys had a good trip. Yeah, Jimmy, it's good to see you, man. Had a guy, we was messing around with the scratch and dent, me and Cousin Paul. And the guy had knew who Cousin Paul was, and we got a chance to chat. That's really great. It's really good to be able to go to Summit Racing, to be able to go to swap meets, to be able to go to picks, and people, you don't really realize how much you influence the genre itself. I try to keep it as positive as possible, but you know what? If something doesn't work, I'm gonna let you know. If there's a car part I don't like, or if there's something that I've experienced that that I'm not going to lie to you on the channel. I'm always 100. The TKX, everything we did with the TKX has not been fluffed. We've been very hard on that transmission, period. And some people think, well, he's just babying it because he was given the transmission. First of all, wasn't given the transmission, but you could say it was. It was not. We tried to break the transmission, but the thing of the matter is the point I'm trying to make is I'm trying to influence the genre to just build your car, build the way you want to build it, and it's good to see people out there doing that, and it's appreciated that I get people that come up to me and and thank me for some of the content that I put on the channel. You guys motivate me to do what I do, and I wouldn't be sitting here right now if I wasn't motivated to bring content to the channel to help some of you guys and just basically just talk and have a good time. So Corey, Neo, what do you think? Oh, I just said that one. What did John P say about nitrous? Yeah, cheaper. Let me tell you what, Dom, nitrous is not cheap, bro. We put nitrous on Dad's car. You guys notice. I love nitrous. The biggest problem I had with nitrous is I was always worried about bottle pressure. I'm like, man, I'd make a hit. I come back to the lanes or come back to the trailer. I immediately put the rigged up bottle heater that we had going on. Wasn't exactly the best thing in the world. But, I was always watching bottle pressure. I'm like, man, if I get this to 1200, I can get a good hit. So, it sucked because I was always buying nitrous, even if it didn't need to be filled. It was like the OCD, you know what I mean? I loved it, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Loved it. Nitrous hits hard, bro. Nitrous hits hard, for sure. Yeah, I was paying pretty much cost because Kevin Cragen's a sponsor on the channel as well. Well, I'm kind of partnered with him at the dyno shop, as I spoke about before in the past. But yeah, he would pretty much give me cost almost on nitrous. I mean, he would make a little bit of money on it, and it was like $550 when we were messing with it back in the day. So a 10-pound bottle cost me like $50 to fill. And it never really was empty to begin with. So I would still end up paying $30 or $35 for some nitrous to make 3 hits on. So I guess that would be a pretty cheap. I've seen people put a little wet shot, little dry shot on a bone stock motor, run, GT and run 11s. So it's definitely cool. On the black car, what rate springs on the rear and how much wheel well above tire? Actually, it's sitting kind of crooked right now, but we're about an inch above tire, and we have the GT. We have the stock GT springs on this car. We have them cut. Plus, we run weight jackers, which I think they were made by Granatelli. Move to Texas, Tater. We need more Mustangs and less Teslas. Matt Wright, what's going on, man? So, anyways, guys, that's pretty much, where we're headed with the this stupid chair. That's pretty much where we're headed with the black car. We got this fuel system. I want to look at this fuel system real quick while we're here on the channel. Like, I don't really necessarily want to spend the money to buy another fuel system for the coupe. So I kind of wanted to steal the fuel system from the black car. But I still need to run E85. Now there's no way we're going to be able to run E85 if we don't have enough pump, that's for sure. So I ended up, when the SSP came home, it had some parts on it. Not really sure what brand fuel rails these are, but I think I'm going to put these on the 387. We're going to do we're going to be doing, I don't like how that dead ends though. That's a bad move. You don't want your rails to dead end. You want your rails to come in. I don't know what brand this is, but whatever. You want your rails to come in and then exit out. Put your regulator down at the return. No idea what brand these are. So if we steal the fuel system from the black car when we go budget, got to replace it with something. I think this is just regular fuel hose. It looks like dash 8. Got some pieces here. I don't know if this will work on the 85 though. I guess we're fitting to find out, right? It's got a GS. It's a 340. Don't they have like a 525 pump now? Is that like a Hellcat pump? I know they got a 425, right? This hanger looks pretty cool. Looks like it's a, what is that, a dash 8, dash 6? Got to think of something for the black car. I mean, we can't not have a fuel system, bro. I don't know if that would be enough. What do you guys think? That is definitely different. Dan, you see this stuff at Summit at all? Anybody know what that is? I mean, this came with the coupe build, so I definitely would get rid of this crap and go with a dash 10 all the way to, or a 10 gauge all the way to the pump. But this is what's going in the black car. If I had to guess, that's a dash 8, dash 6, dash 8 feed, dash 6 return, which pretty sure it's accurate. It's a pretty cool little system. I mean, I'm not real sure that I'm hip with the electrical tape, but they probably put electrical tape around it to cut it when they cut it. I might have to redo these fittings. Trying to get budget here, trying to make use of what we got, bro. So this is probably, obviously, this is the feed. Yeah, it's dash 8. Appreciate it, Kent Craney, for the $5 super sticker. Thanks so much for donating to the channel tonight, man. Appreciate you every week. Appreciate looking at that badass G-body you got. Grand National. So, not real sure why he fed the regulator when they built this system. Definitely going to make use of it for sure, but not real sure why they fed the regulator. This should be on the return side. So I probably will have to buy. This is obviously for the Terminator, right? Low dollar motorsports. Yeah, that's the switch or whatever. We'll pull that out and block. But the this is anyways, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I'm going through a box here of fuel system pieces that were on the SSP when it came to us. It wasn't correct. So this looks like a return. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to rerun some of this shit for the black car. For sure. There's not enough line here. And I don't like, looks like we got a regulator. So that's good. We got a inline pump feed. There should be two, actually. There should be a high micron, like a 50 and like a 10. I don't know. I don't like this deadhead. You don't deadhead your rails. So I'm definitely gonna have to do some fuel system stuff. I don't know if this line's gonna be good for E85 though. I don't know. Has anybody ran E85 on regular fuel line? I know it's corrosive. I mean, I got PTFP stuff in my stuff. You know, when I bought it, I just figured I would. That's part of us getting budget with the black car. We're just using what we got, adding to what we need. You know what I mean? Stick that hose in here. No. That's what I'm running on my Fox E85 plus Coyote. It fits right into the tank like, oh, yeah. Okay. So the Holley 525 unit is hard to beat. So that's something that I could put on that hanger pro line. That's a Pro-Am hanger. Okay. Take a look at the Holley Sniper 525. Okay. Definitely needs some amperage for that, I'm sure. That's for sure a 6 and an 8. I don't think we carry one for a Fox. Let me catch up here. Nice. It's got E85. Keep the fuel pressure sensor from low dollar. I'm actually going to put that sensor in the coupe with the like the whole system. The whole system from my Black Fox here is going in the coupe. It's a -10-8 PTFE, 750 Magna fuel. It's got some good shit in it. So since we're going to the 387 and we're only looking to make 6-ish, maybe 7, I don't know. Since we're only looking to make horsepower to a certain, pretty much cap our injectors out, which 80s will cap out at around 625, 650 with the 85. Then we're going to try to make use of all this fuel system, extra fuel system stuff that we got. So definitely going to use the low dollar one in the Terminator X with the coupe. Budget build to the front. That's right. Use what we got. I mean, everything. I got all these parts sitting in the shop that I haven't sold. I'm just like, that's what spawned the whole 387 build to begin with. So screw it. We're going to put all that stuff in and see if it works. What's the worst that happens? It don't. We lose pressure. Holley 525 is $355 with a hanger with billet hat. So is the 525 a separate, like, is it a pump that fits in the hanger or is it too big? Or does it have its own hanger? Oh, I see now. I see. So it has its own wire and hangers. What about the 425? We could probably run a 425 on the 85. It's good seeing you, Jordan, Dennis. It's good to see you and Kyle. If using E85, the Holley 525 isn't enough. You think so? So I might have to run with a. Trying to look it up. I got a computer right here. What am I doing? Okay. So what's the next step up from 340? Is it 425? 450. Walbro pump 450. It doesn't look like it'll fit into a hanger either. So, do they make a Foxbody one for 525? Let me look that up. I mean, I'm sure they make Foxbody stuff for everything. Like $200? Oh, here it is. This is what you were just talking about, Dan. So that fits in a stock pump. That's pretty cool. What's the top look like? So it's an outlet and return. Is that a -8, -6 outlet and return? Finally filled my car with fluids last week. Came back to the shop at the end of the week, and there's 3 different leaks. Oh. Yeah, so that's what I figured. 340 fits in the hanger. Anything bigger than that requires a modified hanger. Okay. Well, here's the thing about E85. The E85, like when you run E85 fuel, to run something boosted, it takes like 30% more fuel. That's a pretty good, when you go to tune, that's a pretty good starting point. So for those guys that don't know what we're talking about, not being enough fuel, basically, if you're getting ready to put ethanol in your car, ethanol burns about 30% more than regular petroleum fuel. So when a good way to start your tune is to take timing out of it and add 30% fuel, and it'll probably start, your car on E85 when you switch over. So, anyways, what they're talking about is, 340, 450, 525 will handle, pump gas and, race fuel with ease for the most part, up to and including 600-700 horsepower. When you start going into E85, you got to calculate the fact that it's 30% more volume to burn at the same over petroleum fuel. So, yeah, the 525, its own hanger, but wires are tinier than you. They didn't watch your old beat. Yeah, why would you make a 525 pump? Is there a way to change the wires? Do they have like little connectors, or is it hardwired? Because why would you why would you do that? A 525 pump would 14 gauge would not ever be enough. Like a pump of that nature would require a lot of amperage. Even my 625 Magna fuel was, it was 10 gauge or lower. 10 gauge, 8 gauge. Like, you got to feed that shit. You know what I mean? I'm at 10% injector duty cycle with 80 at 600 wheel on a Holly 525. 10%? You mean 90%? I know that 80s can go to about 600 on E85 with whatever pump for the most part. But it starts getting a little sketch past that. Neo, did you ever think of anyone on the A9L? I'm not using it. I can send you some pictures. We could give it away to somebody, but you know, people out there would probably just want to win it to sell it. You know, I'll keep you in mind, Kent, to be honest with you. And if somebody comes up with the need for it, 47403. FUE 47403. A Fuel Lab. Yeah. That thing's like $800, dude. He's so peaked. I got a lot of Fuel Lab parts on these cars, though. Not gonna lie. That's what I thought. Yeah, so, you know, going back to budget, these are going to be some of the hurdles that I'm going to have to deal with on this black car. It's this fuel system. I mean, I guess I could just buy a new fuel system for the coupe and just build it to spec. Wouldn't be a bad idea just to leave the fuel system alone. It's definitely not pocket change, Justin, that's for sure. $800 is a lot of money. But agreed, Proline. I don't know my duty cycle, but Palm Beach said I had more than enough LU 47 E85 500 wheel. Definitely something that we're going to have to dig back into here on the channel. I'd like to make use of that fuel system, but I mean, we could always put it on Cousin Paul's clapped out coupe and just run what we have there and just buy a new fuel system. Not that I want to buy a new fuel system, but it is what it is. Got to get back budget. Might even put heat and AC back in it. Shit, I don't even know. Anyways, boys, folks, I appreciate everybody. We're getting close to 10 p.m. here, which I appreciate the guys for joining the channel tonight. Guys, we are not – get your cars fixed, man. It's springtime. It's it's time for just run an FMU. No way. When you got 3 kids, it's like I do 800 is a lot. Yeah, I get it. I got 2. I know what that is. Anyways, yeah. I appreciate everybody today for jumping into the live stream. I got a lot of videos coming up this week. Some of them are short videos. Some of them are long videos. We're going to be finishing up Lamar's engine. We took it half apart. We're down to the point where we're going to pull the camshaft. I need to get his engine finished so he can get it in his car. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's one of the parts that, much like this fuel system that came with the SSP build, I sold him an engine that's rebuilt, DSS motor, and definitely not leaving my shop without my approval. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, got a lot of, man, I'm so busy. Got a lot of things coming up. Got Ford Takeover coming up. I'm race master of a stick shift event that's sponsored by Tremec, sponsored by McLeod. Going to be a great time. Sponsored by Hanlon Motorsports and, of course, Foxcast Media. Big shout out to Caleb. Can't wait for that event. Super excited. Got a lot of racing coming up. Racing starts in 2 weeks here in Ohio. It actually opens up on Saturdays, but to be honest with you, the way the weather has been, be lucky to see anything at the track. And the track's going to be so cold and have no rubber on it, it's not going to matter. But yeah, I'll hit you up 650 on that. Guys, get your shit off the jack stands. I'm always talking that. When we make the engine swap with the black car, I'm literally going to have the 387 pretty much as fully built as possible. So that way, when we drop it back down into the black car, black car's down for a week, and then we're shaking the motor down. Great idea next week, possibly. Couple people here in chat. I think Rattletrap Fox and Carlos was talking about making a checklist of when you get your build done or when you get your build started. You know, some of the things that, you know, when you get ready to start the motor, this is like a checklist of things to look after. And considering the fact that, you know, I could talk about that in stock form and in modified form, it might make a really cool checklist. So you guys make sure you check out next week's live stream. We're going to be probably talking about that. I think that's a great topic to get into. We're going to bust out the whiteboard. We're going to talk some shit and have some fun here on the channel. But guys, got a lot of videos coming up. We went on a pick. We went to the swap meet. We went on a parts pick. We've done a lot of shit this past weekend that I'm excited to bring here to the channel. And it's going to be a nice engagement with the vlog style video narrated. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. There's some funny stuff in there. We have a good time. You know, it is what it is. We also went back to the junkyard. I got a little video there. I'm a little disappointed with it, I'm not going to lie, but it is what it is. And we have a weight scale video, our final weight scale video. I'll stop hitting you guys up with that stuff. I enjoy it. I like like knowing what my Foxbodies weigh, but you know, it's going to definitely help out later on in the channel. So anyways, big shout to Handler Motorsports on the channel. Big shout to Tremec, McLeod, Stiflers on the channel, Team Z Motorsports. Appreciate all you guys, all the sponsors here on the channel. Number one sponsor is you guys here, subscribers here on the channel, make it happen for me. Appreciate you guys motivating me to do content, and just appreciate you guys just sitting here talking some shit with me for an hour and a half. So anyways, without further ado, guys, get your cars fixed. Spring's coming. I know in the South it's getting a little bit warmer now. In the North, we're starting to get a little bit of change of weather. If your car's not done yet, make a plan. Best advice I can give you, just like I did last week, write it down each week. Get closer to getting the car ready. Things are going to happen. Don't get discouraged. Things may not go your way. Things may not run right. Don't give up on it. But look forward to you guys, talking to you guys next week. I will see you guys soon in the next video this week. See you. Yeah. Have a good night.